Hello and welcome back to the Shot YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to be showing you 5 games that you can play at home on your dartboard that are going to improve your game, and you can also play them as a fun challenge with friends as well. All the games can be played solo but also as a team or competitively, whichever you like. They all will increase your game over time with practice and they're all great fun. So without further ado, let's get into the first one. Number 1 is going to be 1-2-1, one of the most popular games within darts. All the pros I've ever spoken to use it as a great warm-up game, and it's a great way to practice your finishing from 121 and above. The aim of the game is to take out 121 in either 9 darts, 12 darts or 15, depending on the level of ability that you or the opponent has. The good thing about 1-2-1 is also you can play it on your own, so you could just do 9 darts on your own, and if you take it out, then brilliant. Or you could do it with a partner, so you have 3, they have 3, you have 3 again. Or you could do it even against a partner. If you can take it out in 5, can they beat it in 4? Who knows? It can be played so many different ways. It's a great game and great fun. So the aim of the game is obviously take out 121. If you do that in the specific amount of darts you have chosen, then you move on to 122, 123, 124, etc. If you take it out, you move up. However, if you don't take out your score, 121, 122, you go down a peg back to the number before. The only exception to this is if you take out 121 with 3 darts or 122 with 3 darts, that becomes your new benchmark. You can't drop below that. It's a great way to practice your finishing and have a bit of fun with it. The second game I'm going to explain to you is Around the Clock, Around the World. It's one of the most famous games within darts. It can be played many different ways. It can be played on your own or against someone or with someone, again, as I explained at the start. The premise of this game is that you start on 1, you work your way around to the bullseye. This can be played on singles, trebles, doubles or all 3, and there's many variations that you can take. If you hit a double, you move along 2. If you hit a treble, you move along 3. So the aim is to go from 1 to 25, then the bull. It's a great game to practice hitting each different segment of the board. Obviously, the least amount of time or the least amount of darts is how you gauge how you're doing. The ideal situation would be to finish in 22 darts. However, that is very hard. It's a real fun one to play when you've got friends round, because you can either have a race against them with the timing, or if you finish in 30 darts, they've got a benchmark to beat. It's a real great game. And that being said, it's a great way to track your progress in darts, because you can always remember if you did it the first time and it took you 10 minutes or it took you 45 darts, you can track over time how much better you're getting, and that is always a bonus. The third game I'm going to tell you about is just behind my head. It's the Bullseye. This is the Bullseye challenge. This is one that it really shocked me. I was once speaking to 2 greats of the game, and they said before they started practice together, they had a race to 50 bullseyes. 50, I'd be there all day. But you can do this in many different ways. Again, you could do it to 10, you could do it to 15. The aim of the game is to reach a certain amount of points via scoring only on the bullseye. The outer bullseye is 1 point and the main bullseye is 2 points. So if in a visit you have 3 darts and you hit a single bull, bullseye, then you've scored 4 points and you move on. This can be played obviously against players or with them again, and you can do this against a time as well if you wanted. If you wanted to race to 15 and it took you again 5 minutes, you can try beat that on your next time around. It's a real fun way, and it hones in your focus on one segment, which is great for your game. For number 4 then, I've had to sit back down. This one is a little more tricky to explain. It's killer darts, and what's tricky about it, everywhere around the country, in UK and across the world, everybody plays it different. But I'm going to explain the version I know so you guys can give it a try at home. This is more of a team-based game, or with, it's better with more players. It's great for if you've got mixed abilities and if you've got friends round or you want to have a warm-up game. Basically, the premise of Killer Darts is, the way I play it, you pick a certain amount of lives. We usually go for 3. The more players you have, usually the less lives you give everybody, so it shortens the amount of the time on the game. The first person on the list has to hit 21 or more. If they do that, so let's say they hit 45, the next player on the list has to hit 46 or more. If they fail to do so, they lose a life, and the next player after them goes back to 21 or more. But this is a great way because, you know, even if you're playing people that aren't overly great at that, everybody can get lucky on a treble, and that's pure elation. If you know, if you've got your gran playing and she hits a treble 19, oh, it goes mental because the next person will need a treble. It's great. It's a real fun game that isn't too serious and everybody can enjoy it. The 5th and final game I'm going to tell you guys about is a pretty standard normalised game within darts. It's 301. It's the basic same premise as 501, you just start on 301. This is good for shortening games, it's also good for getting down to a finish. You know, remembering how to get to 170 or below. Quite a bit easier than having to start on 501. You're obviously 200 points to the better. However, with 301, you can also play where you have to require a double in. So, you know, a bit like the Grand Prix style, you double in to start and double out to finish. This can mix it up. Well, with 301, it's a great way to handicap if you're playing a great player against a slightly worse player. As a bit of fun, you can start on, the good player starts on the double in, the worst player starts on single in. It's a great way to practice because you're getting more legs in consistently. You know, at the start of a leg of 501, you're obviously aiming for the 180, but once you get to that 300 range, you have to start thinking about a finish. You know, you can easily leave a finish off 301, so it's a great way to practice leaving and setting up them high finishes, and then you get more efforts at the high 100 plus finishes, which everybody loves hitting. So that there is just 5 games that you can play that are all fun. You can play at home on your own. Killer, I would suggest more players the better, but everything else can be played on your own. It's a real fun way, and practice makes perfect within darts. So playing these fun games, trying practice drills, bettering yourself, make sure you're tracking your stats. Everybody loves tracking improvement. So keep a note down on what your best scores are on 121, how far your deepest run is, how's the least amount of darts you've finished around the world. It's a great way to improve your game without having to keep losing match after match after match. If you guys have any suggestions on great games, please do leave them in the comments and I will take a look, and I might even give a few a try to see if it can better my game. I'm always looking to improve. So please do drop a subscription, like the video, drop a comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.